Our top story tonight, a last-minute bill introduced by Republican lawmakers in the Georgia State House that aims to limit access to police reports via open records request has passed. WSAV's Christine Quayle explains what these new rules would mean.
Yes, Tina, on Wednesday, the House Rules Committee at the State House in Atlanta passed an altered version of Senate Bill 12, which would limit the amount of information that's required to be released under the Georgia Open Records Act and create a new exemption for any records or data related to the legislative branch. Currently, when a crime is committed and police are involved, any member of the public can submit an open records request. If the crime has to do with an open case, police can deny the request for records. However, they are required to release initial police reports or incident reports in the case under the law. The altered version of Senate Bill 12 would codify that only the first incident report completed on a standard form is required to be released, causing some to raise concerns about how those reports are being written.
Is the intention to limit the amount of information that folks can get on a case through the Open Records Act?
I think that you could get through to a pending case that's still being prosecuted. Yes, I think it's intended to limit it to what I think customarily, at least I've always understood as a city attorney, was what you had to produce.
And lawmakers also posing questions about the legislative exemption.
What are y'all trying to protect, and what are you trying to hide, I should say?
I don't think we're trying to hide anything. There's currently existing under law legislative privilege, and which protects conversations that we have with people about legislation. This is just saying, just because it ends up, a document or a communication ends up being in the hands of the executive branch, doesn't remove the legislative privilege.
The Georgia legislative session ends tonight. The changes to SB 12 were introduced only days before the end of this session, but there are several other pieces of last-minute legislation that lawmakers are trying to push through tonight as well. Christine Quayle, WSAV News 3, on your side.